So let's have a look and see how we can make a collage using Pic Collage. So to start with, you'll need the Pic Collage app. So this is free and you can get this for iPhone, iPad, Kindle Fire, Android tablet, or you can also get it for an Android phone. So these are the photos that I've taken that I'm going to put in my collage. So I'm just going through the photos in my photo gallery that I've taken. Yep, there we go. So those are my photos. So what I'm going to do is open Pic Collage. So I'm doing this on an iPad, but it's very, very similar on all those other devices as well. So I'm going to tap, I could tap on Get Started up at the top, or I could tap on Grid or Freestyle. Now I'm going to put it into a grid, but I'm just going to show you how we do this. So I'm going to go to, I think I'll go to Grid. And then what I've got to do first of all is I've got to choose my photos. So if I go and find where my photos are, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then up here I've got a tick that I can tap, and then it puts them on the screen. So down at the bottom here you've got some choices, and if I just tap on a few of these choices, you'll see it rather cleverly moves these pictures around. So I can choose lots and lots of different things, and there are some other things that I've got here with the sizes, so I can change those around too, but I think I'm just going to go for that one. So I can add my pictures, move them around, and then when I'm happy I've got a tick down here that I can tap. Now what I can then do is if I come down to the bottom, I've got some other choices I can put in, and what I'd really like to do is put some text with it. So I'm going to go down here to where it says text, tap on it, and then you'll see my keyboard appears. So I'm going to put signs of spring. There we go. Now you can change a few things around here. So this button, this T, is for the text, so I can change the font. So I've got all these different fonts that I can change down here. This next button is for the colour, and you'll see this is for the colour of the writing. So if I tap on that one and then change that to purple, you'll see my writing changes to purple. Let's change it back. And then this one down here is for the background. So I'm trying to use a background here for my writing that makes my writing easy to read. So I don't think that would be a very good choice, really. So I'm just going to go back to this yellow one. Okay, so if I'm happy, then I tap this tick down here, and I can move this to where I want it to go. So you'll see that I've got a slider on this side here. I can tap on my writing, and I can, oops, if I tap on my writing and not the picture, then what I can do is I can move, I'll try that again. Yeah, there we go. So I can move my writing so that it's not all on one line. And then on this end of the writing here, this will make it this will make it bigger or smaller, and I can also turn it round. So I think I'm just going to put this by my daffodils here. I'm going to fit it there, put my signs of spring there. And I think what I'll do is I'll also put something to say that it's by me. I'm just going to put my first name. So tap on text, by Tim. There we go. And tap the tick. I'm going to make that much smaller, and I'm going to put it down at the bottom. Now I'm not going to put it here because you will get a watermark that comes up that says Pic Collage, and it will be over the top of it. So what I'm going to do is put it there. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. So there are lots of things that you can play with and you can change. Anything that you do that you don't like and you want to do it again, tap this undo button and it will get rid of it. If you want to delete a photo, if you hold the photo down, you'll see that a bin appears up at the top. So I can just drag to the bin and then tap on it and it will delete it. But I'm going to use this to put that photo back. So once I'm happy with it, I tap done up in the top right hand corner. And now it says save to library. So there are all these other places you could save them. So really you need to speak to your parents if you're saving it anywhere else. But I'm just going to tap save to library, and then it will bring up an advert, but that basically just means it's done it. So that's it. It's saved it to the library. So that's how I use Pic Collage to make my spring collage. if you prefer to do your collage on a PC, a Mac or a Chromebook, then there are lots of online collage makers, and one of them is called befunky.com. So I'm going to use this one. So if I go to befunky.com, it says get started, and if I click that, then I have these options, and I'm going to go to create a collage. So when I do that, up at the top, the first thing I need to do is go get my photos. So you see I've already got my photos. If you click on computer, then you can go to your computer's hard drive and go find where you've put your photos. Now, if you're using a Chromebook or a PC or a Mac, then the chances are they're on a camera, so you'll need to transfer them from your camera to your computer by taking the SD card out of your camera and putting it in the laptop. So anyway, I've got my pictures, so the next thing I'm going to do is go to layouts, and I can just go to one of these layouts. So you'll see it says featured, and I can choose one of these, but if I don't want one of those, I can go back, keep looking down, it says grid, and I can keep going down here to see one that I want. So big photo wrap, something like this. So I'm going to use one of these, so I'm going to use this one here. So if I click it, it will put this on the screen, and then I can go back to my photos here, and then I just drag and drop the photos that I want into the right place, like that. So I can do that. If I want to swap them around, I click and they swap. I think I'll swap that back though. So you can keep swapping them around as much as you like. Now you can actually move the photos backwards and forwards a little bit. So if it's not quite positioned the way that you want it, you can change it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some text on it. So if I come down here, it says text, add text, and then you'll see I've got some text that appears on the screen here. So I've got to double click inside this box and say what I want it to say. So mine's going to say signs of spring. And then I've got to highlight that text, and then I can come here, I can change the font, I can change the background color, and I can change the outline of it as well. So if I want to change the background color of my writing, I can. So I can change the background color. I can come over here if I've highlighted my writing, and I can change the size that I want. So I can make my writing bigger. You can see that getting bigger, and here I can align it so it goes to the middle. There are all sorts of things that I can do. I could put an outline around the edge of my writing, and that's it. So if I'm happy with this, if I just click somewhere else like I've done, then I can move this to wherever I want it to go. And then I might do another one just to say who it's by, but I'm only going to put my first name. So if I'm happy with all that, then I'm going to go to save up here, and I'm going to go to computer. Now if your school has Google Drive and you've logged into a school Google Drive account, you could click that. But if I'm going to go to computer, and then I can just decide on what I want to call it, and then I can save it. Now if you don't have any technology at home that you can use at all, then one thing that you could do is you could do some sketches in the garden and put them together to make a collage. So whatever you do, good luck.